Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Stam, scientist, product developer, running coach, and former world-class middle distance runner. And I'm a big fan of ZEMS because it promotes barefoot training. You know, as a middle distance runner, middle distance running is perfectly suited for the barefoot style. Why? Because in a half-mile race or an 800-meter race, you are doing a full-out sprint for 2 laps. You don't have the time to run up on your toes because you fatigue your legs. And you can't run on your heels because the back of your hamstrings take too much stress. And you know, for most runners, that's where they get into trouble. Heel striking is not the normal foot position. What tends to happen, if you look at the back of the heel, when you strike with your heel, all of the motion goes up the back of the hamstring, into the hips, into the lower back, and the next thing you know, you have isolation problems with the hamstring. Let me show you the difference between a heel strike, a mid-strike, a foot mid-strike, and being on your toes. And look at the tension that happens in the back of the leg and the front of the leg, and then I'll show you how to stretch out so that you can enjoy barefoot profile. Watch. If we just start with the normal walking position, and I'm simply going to go at very slow 3 miles an hour. If I land on the back of my heels, notice how the side of my knees and the muscles above the top of my knees will flex so the back of my hamstrings take most of the brunt of the weight. Now as I start to move forward in my foot stride, and I move forward on my foot stride, notice not only does the sound of my feet get softer, I'm actually able to move a little bit more easily. Notice too, my shoulders round a little bit forward, I tip my hips forward, and it gives me a very normal walking stride. Same thing happens when we start to increase the speed. I'll go at a fairly light jog at 6 miles an hour, what an average person would jog at, about an 8-minute mile. And if you run on the back of your heels, notice how I tend to compress down as I run. The trick is, take your hands on your hips, move your hips a little bit forward, move your shoulders forward. Next thing you know, you're running a lot easier, you're striking the middle of your foot. Notice the top of my muscles there, much easier. If I go back on my heels, listen to the sound. Also listen how the muscles of my legs flap a little bit more. Increasing the speed. 7 miles an hour. On the midfoot, no sound at all. On the heel, you start to hear all the sound, all the energy. You also have to stand up more straight. Forward, pick up your feet, curl your toes, off you go. Here's how easy it can get. Let's go to 10 miles an hour, a 6-minute mile. Only way to do that, mid-strike foot. Nice and easy, still can carry on a conversation, shoulders forward, easy as it gets. Remember, when you strike with the middle of your foot, bring your foot down through the middle, bring the foot back, curl the foot, then drive through. All of running is the distance between one stride to the next. It's all what we call in track turnover. Think of your hip as the engine. The midfoot helps you bring the foot through, the knee through, and off you go. Enjoy the barefoot revolution. Have a good time. Keep moving.